What is going on, Tone from Nation? We are live and T-2 to going fully live. Good to have everybody here. Thanks for staying with us last night on the debate. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. Obviously, we're going to go over debate coverage, share some things with you that we've uncovered over the last, I don't know. Where are we at? 21 hours since the debate. Tommy, what's going on? Good to have you here. Olivia's not here tonight. She is off. Amy is joining the show. I didn't know Amy was joining the show. It must be Wednesday. I'm off on my days. Whoops. Let me get Amy in here and see if she wants the night off, because I'm not prepared for Amy. I'm a jerk. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I forgot it was Wednesday. I thought I was solo.
Do you want me on? I can.
No, it's not that I don't want you. I literally have nothing slide prepared. How about that?
The show tonight.
Yeah, I want you out of here. I just want you to leave. I've had enough women in my life. I've already got one wife.
Take the day off.
I don't need another one. Go have a good night. Tell Jason love him, and you guys have fun and call it bonus time. I'm so sorry. I'm such a jerk. Yeah. It was such a long day last night. I'm sorry.
All good. Have a good show, guys. I love y'all.
Love you, kiddo. See you.
I won't see you till Monday, though. So.
Okay, I'll see you Monday. We love you.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So thank God for Amy. She's awesome. I feel horrible. I have no slides ready. I'm not ready, but it's good that she knows. She knows what's up. We got a good show tonight. We're covering all the debate. Luckily you got Amy's opinion last night. I want to bring some different perspective. I want to say thank you to everybody. We'll be back in about 3 minutes. See you then. Step into a Wimkin.
Here. Check out our friend Matthew Spirit at his podcast at The DUM Show and his website. Yeah, don'tunfriendme.com. Yeah.
What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Matthew Spirit from the Don't Unfriend Me show. I want to talk to you about Wimkin.com. Now, Jason Shepard and the Wimkin team came into my life about a year and a half ago. They were saying that it's not a Twitter knockoff, that it's just like Facebook, it's fully encrypted, completely safe, and your privacy is paramount. You can live stream, it's 100% made in the USA. And I took a little time, I'm not going to lie. I wanted to make sure that this was the right company, and it took me a little bit to research and take part in the network, and I will tell you that I am 100% right behind Wimkin. Jason Shepard has created an amazing network where people who are sick and tired of being censored and pushed around by big tech. This doesn't happen on Wimkin. He protects your privacy, and he's willing to stand up to the government and anyone who tries to get it. He's already done it once. It doesn't make him very popular, and that's why he needs shows like us and people like you to support him, to get behind him, and to ensure that the most important thing that we all possess is the right to freedom of speech and to share our voices across this great country. Join Wimkin over at wimkin.com today.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What's going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Good to have you here. Oh, man, what a long night last night. Talk about drudgery. Little house cleaning and housekeeping stuff. Olivia's not here tonight. I am running solo. Amy was going to be here, but she didn't show up. What a loser. I'm just kidding. She actually showed up pre-show, and I forgot. So it's my fault. Blame me. That's fine. I just realized my giant... Listen, these cups are fantastic, and I know they're from like Blade Runner and like 1960s, 70s Tupperware, but we've got like 100 of them and they're amazing. I'm sorry. They're fantastic. They're great for my workout shakes. They're great for water. I'm not getting any proceeds from that, but I do love them. I hope you like the new Wimkin commercial. I thought it was important to kind of put my stamp on it. I am a stockholder. Want to make sure that I let you know that. And I do make some money from Wimkin every single month because they sponsor our show. And I'll tell you, I'm ramping up the influence, and I think they deserve it. They deserve to be seen on our show. They are cutting edge. They cover topics that everyone else is afraid to cover. They allow people to express their opinions, whether you agree with it or not. It really is immaterial. I don't agree with everything on Wimkin. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on there that I'm like, it's just not my speed. That's great. I get to choose, not Facebook or Twitter or somebody else. So yeah, stop on by. Welcome to, are they Tupperware? No, they're not Tupperware. They got them on Amazon. You get like 10 of them for like $11.99. They're probably Chinese plastic and they're fantastic. Anyway, your hoodie, my hoodie finally got delivered. What did it take? 5 days? Oh, the horror. Dude, it didn't take that long, did it? I don't think. I'll check it, but usually we're 5 to 7 days because everything's custom made to order. I don't have anything in a warehouse. Everything's there. Anyway, yes, Amy Stancombe's a stockholder too into Wimkin. Good to see everybody. We want some participation. Call me up tight. Tell me what you thought. Did Trump suck? Was it horrible? Did Kamala Harris blow you away? I've got 25 things I want to talk about that Kamala Harris was not fact checked on, and I'm going to fact check her. And Kitty, Mom's not here tonight. Okay. You're just going to have to suck it up, Kat. Oh, boy. It's going to be a drama-filled evening with Yenny the cat. Housekeeping, dumbnews.com. You can go over there for daily news if you would not mind. Please follow us and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. That's extremely important. It means the world to us. It keeps us going. If you would not mind, all you got to do is go on, whether you're on YouTube or Rumble or Wimkin, wherever else, just smash that like button, smash that follow button, smash that share button. We would appreciate it. It helps the world go around if you would not mind. Last but not least, we had a killer night last night. Everyone pitched in and helped, got us back on track. We have a goal of 3750 this month, and you guys really helped out last night. So thank you so much. That takes the stress off because it allows us to, well, it only takes it off for a day or two, but it lets us go ahead and refocus and, focus on the things that are most important, which is bringing you the news and bringing all the information we can in the best way that we know how. So if you would not mind, and if you have the ability, you've taken care of your friends and family, you've got your vacation set up, maybe you gave to the local veterans group, and you still have a little bit left over in this crazy economy, please do us a favor, help us out. If you would not mind, you can send $1. Someone said it last night, that was fantastic, is, man, if everyone would send $1 who watches the show, every night we could crush that goal. So if you can help out, please do. And if obviously, A dollar is great. You know, you can give 5 and give 10. There's people who've given $1,000. There are people who've offered $10,000. And for 3.5 years, we turned them down. But Facebook demonetized us. And unfortunately, we're having to go ahead and take donations. So with your help, we keep the show free. So thank you for your help last night. All right. Not a big deal. Marky, I'm telling you, man. All right. Now I got to go check. American Express is offering me a credit card. Yeah, right. Like we're gonna fall for that one. I'm gonna see how long it took because my distribution centers are all over the United States, and they're all over actually Canada and Europe too. So we've got people all over. So I'm gonna see how long this took. Now it could have been that I took a little bit of time to get it out. You ordered on August 27th. Oh, it did take a while. Labor Day. That's why. So weather events across the globe are impacting the UPS network. So inclement weather was one of the big reasons. It should have been there on the 3rd. But because of the holiday and because of weather, it slowed it down. So that's not me, man. I can't. God got involved. So I'm gonna take a Pasadena on that. So, but that is a while. It usually doesn't take that long. Usually it's very fast. James Cody, is it Cody? Cody says, here's a fact check. The ABC monitors were completely Democrat water carriers and hacks. Journalists, my ass. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you, man. I think we need to let it out tonight. I think, whoa, holy God. Jeez, James. Grandma, what big eyes you have. There, that's better. We're going to cover it tonight. I got 25 things, and we're going to fact check some other stuff, because here's the thing. There's no doubt Donald Trump should have done a better job prosecuting his case. But dude, I'm sorry. I've been in that situation. I've been in debate. I've done debate for a better part of my life. And whether, it's working in Intel, which is essentially debate. It's you versus people who are designed to find a flaw in your analysis, and or they're there to listen to your analysis and to make their own predictive summary of what you're saying. And it's tough. And in high school, obviously, Lions Club debate team, worked with debate outside of school as well with Kiwanis. And I wasn't very good in school, but I was fairly decent at debate. And then obviously having to debate the hearts and minds of employees, and we're not talking a small group. We've done conferences in front of 3,500 people. I've done conferences in front of 30,000 people, and had to get up on stage and speak and somehow present, what the company's doing and what the districts are doing and regions are doing, and how we can kind of emulate those behaviors across the country. And it's difficult, because you see people in the audience, they give you a face, or they, kind of roll their eyes or thumb their nose at you, and it can throw you off. And sometimes people interrupt and they have questions, and or sometimes in a debate, people just don't respect the clock, or they don't respect your time, and they can throw curveballs at you. Sometimes they make it personal. And all of those things are normal in a debate that everyone can handle. But let's talk about the things that Donald Trump shouldn't and couldn't handle. And, the first thing I would say is, you got to stop trusting the media. CNN had ulterior motives. People give them credit. Oh, CNN was so fair and factual. And I felt that there was probably, from a moderator standpoint, it was going to be fairly balanced. But that's because CNN is trying to dig themselves out of the hole and separate them from MSNBC. But they had marching orders to destroy Joe Biden. I mean, we know this, right? We're aware. I think there's nobody who isn't aware that CNN was told to don't get too much involved, but don't save Biden and let him swing. And they did. They let him swing. So that's the DNC telling CNN that they're gonna oust Joe Biden. And then lo and behold, that's what happened. Come on, everyone knows this. Everyone knows this. If you don't, then you just haven't watched any debate for the last 20 years. Because this happens every debate. Is the moderators get involved, They cherry pick statements. They treat people one way. They treat people the other. They go after the Republican candidate and they protect the Democrat. And that's just the way this works. So who's surprised? Is there anyone who's surprised? So Megyn Kelly said it best, and it's very similar. And, Megyn Kelly said shit like 12 times. So I'm starting to feel like the Republicans are coming around to my world. I think they're starting to, go my way, and good, you should, because I'm sick and tired of not being able to cuss. I mean, Megyn Kelly said, she's like mother effer, or MF or F, and then she said shit like 12 times. Good. Because I happen to love Megyn Kelly. I think she's a smoke show, and a little thin now. I mean, she needs to eat something, but otherwise, I loved her when she was on Fox. I think she's just glamorous, and she's got a brain in her head versus Tomi Lahren. But I really like Megyn Kelly and Tomi Lahren. Don't take it personal, but you sitting here and you're just like everybody else. These MAGA influencers. Can you just listen? You have been kissing Trump's ass for 3.5 years, and I've been challenging and calling him out. And now I'm on board because it's general election and it's time to play, and you guys are all jumping ship. I mean, what the hell's wrong with you people? Vicky says, Matt, how many people viewed the debates? I don't know. I think it's not going to be as many as 2020 or 16. And I'll tell you why. Is because we had like 800 people on. And even though we were being throttled in 2020. We had like 250, 350 across the network combined. That's low. That's not a big number for a debate. So I don't think many people were interested. I'm not going to lie to you. I think people checked out, like I said, in the first 15 to 20 minutes. I think you're going to see a 60% drop in the overall rating in the first 15 to 20. And that's good because Trump had one of his best questions answered, which was about the economy, and got a little rib in about her father being communist and her being communist. Tomi Lahren, says, I'm not jumping ship. Who's jumping ship? I'm talking about MAGA influencers, not voters, Jennifer. You got Nick Fuentes, who's been like trashing Trump. And this guy's a douche. I mean, he's a little Nazi empathizer, sympathizer, white supremacist who thinks that women are horrible and should shut up. And he tells all his little followers not to sleep with women. The guy's nuts. And he's a grifter. And he's just basically, he was popular when hating Jews wasn't. And now that hating Jews is popular, they're realizing that he's not very good at it compared to everyone else. And he's just falling by the wayside. So this guy's doing whatever he can to get noticed. So I hate Trump. I can't stand Trump. Trump's a Jew. Trump's, and now he's like, oh, Donald Trump was so good last night. It's fantastic. I'm like, this guy is just literally, he's absolutely opposition. He's controlled opposition. I had so many doubts. I was like, who is this guy? So when the Groypers would call in, I'm like, these guys sound like controlled opposition. It's like, they don't sound like Trump supporters. They're not. And neither is he. But he's jumping back on. And then you got people, like Tomi Lahren, who's like, oh, well, Trump didn't sound like he didn't get prepared. And how can Tulsi Gabbard like undress Kamala Harris in 10 seconds? And then, Donald Trump can't do it in 2 hours. It's like, first of all, lady, Tulsi Gabbard is the one that actually ran his debate prep, which I said was a terrible idea. I'm going to stay on the record. Thank you very much. Can I get a cha-ching, please? I wish Olivia was here. She would give me a cha-ching. I don't think anybody cash register. I don't even have a sound for cash register. Here it is. That's the wrong one. See, I'm not very good at this. But anyway, I said Tulsi Gabbard was a horrible idea for debate prep. It's like, why are you going to have a liberal debate prep? This is stupid. She's not a liberal, Matt. She's given up all of her ideologies in the last 2 years and completely turned a new leaf on every single thing she believed in. Over 37 different pieces of platform she ran on 2020. She's abandoned in 2022. Oh, okay. Anyway, Tomi Lahren is nice. She's a beautiful girl. She's smart. She's intelligent. But a lot of these people are just like, they're just hedging their bets. Listen, if Donald Trump is successful and he wins, I do well. If Donald Trump doesn't, I do well. And the reason why is I have not tied my entire show to one candidate. I've tied my show to honesty and truth and being direct. And that's what you get from this show. And sometimes you don't like what I say about Trump, and that's tough. And sometimes you love what I say about Trump. But I don't tie my entire show to Donald Trump. I'm just not going to do it. And yeah, I've got Trump mugs and, You know, I've got a Trump sticker and I'm going to vote for the guy completely. But everyone here knows is that I've called him out for quite a bit. But now, how can you literally hold Donald Trump accountable when that woman stood up there for 2 hours and just lied her ass off? I mean, about everything. It was a 100% flip-a-doodle. It didn't even look like Kamala Harris. First of all, she was dialed in. She looked good last night. And listen, I know you people are all like, oh, she's ugly, she's horrible, she's a whore, and she, slept with Willie Brown. All those things are true. But she looked good last night. Her suit looked dialed in. She looked dialed in. Hair looked nice. Her mask was slipping, according to some people. She was wearing a Nova headset. Listen, none of that's important. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. None of that is important. Shane says, Laren. What, Tommy Lauren? I thought it was Tommy Lauren. Is it Tommy Laren? Who cares? I mean, really? Who cares? None of it matters. It doesn't matter if they cheated because we know they cheated. They always cheat. That's what they do. The media is dishonest. They're the least trusted entity on the planet outside of Congress. Come on. What did you expect? Oh, well, she's got the answers ahead of time. Of course she did. Unburdened by what has been 127 times in less than 6 months, all of a sudden became super debater? Like we had this unknown superpower that Kamala Harris had. We've all seen her talk. She still ran in circles. She still word saladed it like a crazy person. But what she did do was get layups. The moderator team was like, hey, Trump, you're a piece of shit. What do you think about that? And he's like, well, here's what I think. And here's where you're wrong. And okay, thank you, former President Trump. Hey, Kamala, hey, Chickie, tell us why Donald Trump's a piece of giant shit. Okay. That was the entire night. When Kamala Harris lied about abortions, when she lied about gun control, lied about fracking, lied about borders, lied about what she did in Poland, lied about not even trying to solve a peace treaty between Vladimir Putin and Zelensky. Trump even set her up. See, these are the things. Is Trump like, he threw the pitch over the plate and he got a grounder and he didn't field it. He just was like, let it go by. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like when he said, hey, you went over to Poland and you went there to talk to Zelensky and Putin. You didn't even talk to Putin. And she's like, that's not true. Oh, so you haven't worked on a peace treaty between the two? Why don't you want peace between Ukraine and Russia? That was the follow-up. I mean, it's right there. You got her to admit, you set her up with the Putin comment. She openly admitted that she wasn't there to have a peace treaty with Putin and Zelensky, or at least, sow the fields of not having them invade. And she openly admitted she did nothing over there to prevent that. Then she hasn't talked to him in 2 years. So you simply say, hey, why aren't you trying to be the intermediary? Why aren't you trying to solve this? He had her. He didn't hit her with it. You nailed her with a beautiful socialism, communism, your father thing. It impacted her. It hurt her. And you didn't bring it up again. Why not? Say, oh, did your father teach you that? Did your father teach you about bread lines? Did your father teach you about 100 million dead because of communism and socialism? Can you please tell me one country in the history of the world that's ever prospered from communism and socialism? Can you please tell me any country in the world that hasn't went to a tyrannical dictatorship under communism? Can you? Can you please tell me why your policies are all about redistribution of wealth and government controlling redistribution in the United States? And what is that? That's called communism. Did your dad teach you that? Bye, Colleen. Sorry you're leaving. I hope you're okay. I hope all my people in hurricane path are okay. Louisiana people, love you. We'll be saying some prayers for you tonight. Let us know how you are. If you're safe, good. If you're not safe, let us also know. Okay. So that's my question. No. You don't need to attack family. Wait a second, Kyung. What do you mean? How is the truth attacking family? They called him a Nazi. They said he said good people were on both sides. They called him a fascist. They called him a MAGA extremist. They got him shot. And you're worried about family? Fuck family. I don't give a shit. These people have put this man through 2 impeachments. A $47 million Mueller investigation. They've crawled up his ass like a colonoscopy. They put 13 of his associates just because they were associated with Trump that had nothing to do with Russian collusion and put them in prison. They spied on his campaign, created the dirty dossier. They went after all of his businesses. They stacked charges in New York. They took a 30-year-old case, supposedly that he put his finger in this lady's hoo-ha in a dressing room, which was probably consensual. They went ahead and hit him for, what, 10 million? Then hit him for 100 for a civil trial that he was found not guilty of rape in? And then there should have been another trial at that point because the charges were civil. But now he's considered a rapist and a sexual offender? Then they hit him in Georgia for making a phone call, an innocuous phone call to a fellow Republican governor, which he talks to governors every day. There's rumors coming out of the offices that ballots aren't being counted and addresses aren't being checked in Georgia. And he's like, listen, they're the votes. You need to make sure that these are taken care of. You need to find these votes. It's going to be a close race. Do your job as governor. Make sure your state's locked down with its freaking constitution and its election law. That's not illegal. You telling me Gore didn't do that? You're telling me Hillary Clinton didn't do that when they wanted all the fake electors to go ahead and vote for anyone but Donald Trump, and they made commercials for it? They fund it with a $120 million PAC to make commercials of celebrities like Billy Crystal and Robert fucking De Niro coming out and saying, we're not telling you not to vote for Trump. We're just telling you, we're not telling you to vote for Clinton. We're just telling you not to cast your electoral vote for Trump. That's not treason. That's not insurrection. That's not election interference. Are you kidding me? The same PACs that donated money to Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. What the hell are we talking about? You want to talk about P-tapes? You want to talk about raiding his freaking wife's panty drawer in her freaking closet? You want to talk about invading his home and stealing his passport? Not letting him be there, not letting his lawyers be there, not notifying him of that, showing up with guns in Mar-a-Lago, hurting his business? You want to talk about a man who has international affairs and international business investments and make it seem like he's sold out to Russia just because that's one of the 72 countries he does business with? You want to go ahead and talk about quid pro quo and impeach him on it, but you don't get Joe Biden for doing it with Burisma, and you certainly don't get him with the Afghan president when he said he's going to pull air support and pull intel from Afghanistan if he didn't follow exactly the exfil that they prescribed. That wasn't even in the agreement that Donald Trump set up, that got 13 people killed, Bagram air base left over, and $75 billion worth of weaponry and bio software to go ahead and check the NGOs who are working for the United States and go door to door and shoot those fucking people in the head? You mean those people? That family? Give me a break. He's not attacking your fucking father. He's saying he was a professor of communism. He wrote books on it, for God's sakes. He's a fucking commie. Give me a break. Oh, his family. Oh, Kamala Harris, his mom and dad. It's not my fault that they're communist. Fuck them. I'm done. I'm so done with this, man. I'm done with not cussing. I'm done with not calling out my listeners who just what are you talking about, man? We don't have time to draw lines of delineation about fairness. Our country's at stake. You have a nugget like that her father is a communist and you don't want to frickin' call it out? Why? Of course you call it out. It's not attacking. Words don't attack. He simply said, did you learn that from your dad? Okay, fine. You didn't learn it from your dad. Where did you learn how to be a Marxist-Leninist? How did you learn to be a communist? You're in America. The Communist Party 20 years ago was ostracized by everyone in the United States. 1950, 1960, we literally went to war for it. And now communism is openly accepted, and a person on the national stage who was an open Marxist-Leninist is actually going to possibly win the election, and we're worried about insulting her father? Are you kidding me? I'm not even done. I didn't even go to the wiretaps. I didn't even go into Strzok and Page and the FBI. I didn't even go into Brenner and Tapper and Comey. The 41 fucking letters of the intelligence agency subverting the election, saying the laptop one was Russian disinformation. I can do this all day. And we're worried about upsetting her daddy? Who cares? They just fixed a debate. Did you even watch? God, I love you. I love you, Kyung. You're one of my favorite people on the planet. But dude, I don't understand. You've just been saying some weird stuff lately. Trump didn't attack her father. It's the truth. He is a declared Marxist-Leninist. He's a communist. He was a professor. Liberal arts. What the hell are you talking about? You're an intelligent man who knows a shit ton about the military. Did I just attack you? You're of Asian persuasion. Did I attack you? You look damn good in a suit. Did I attack you? No, I stated a fact. You're off your frickin' rocker the last couple of weeks. Is that attacking you? No, it's the truth. You've said some of the weirdest shit in the last 3 weeks. I don't even know, man. Like, did you get hijacked? Blink twice if they've got your family. It's not attacking family they don't know who she is. So let me ask you a question. Is it attacking Tim Walz to go into his stolen valor? His refusal to deploy? Him making a freaking slug coin that means nothing? And he wasn't an E9. That his retirement wasn't even close. Do we go ahead and include that? Do we include that he extended long-term abortions up to 9 months in Minnesota? Do we go ahead and do that? Or do we not say it because it's attacking him? Do we talk about Kamala Harris's daughter who raised money for Hamas? Do we talk about how her husband has completely abandoned the Jewish religion? That he married a woman who doesn't care about Israel? She lied. She openly said she's in for a two-state solution. That's not caring about Israel. Two-state solution ensures open attacks in Jerusalem. Terrorist attacks and innocent people will die. There is no two-state solution with terrorists. They don't have a state. Palestine isn't a state. Am I attacking them? Or am I just stating the facts? Now, if he goes up there and says her father is a piece of shit, or her father is a she, or was a part of Lee Harvey Oswald's conspiracy to kill Kennedy like he did with Marco Rubio, with Ted Cruz, okay, that's attacking. But simply saying, where are the roots of your communism? Where does it stem from? Where do you get this? Where did you learn these things? Because she's a San Francisco radical. I know, I live there. Well, not San Francisco, but close enough. I don't understand, dude. This is war. This is good and evil, man. These people stood up on stage and told you that Tim Walz did not support the LGBTQ community. No, screw the LGBTQ. The lesbian, gay, bisexual, and queer. They need to stay out of this. They have nothing to do with this. This is all about the transgender movement inside that has taken the LGB movement hostage. The agreement that we had with the LGBT community was pretty simple. Leave our kids alone. Don't try to indoctrinate us. And your bedroom is your bedroom. Just leave us alone. And you know what? It's worked for decades. They are the fastest minority group to receive acceptance on a massive scale. Hell, black people waited 400 years and are still fighting for it. The LGBT community, 35 years. That is a quick adoption for a lifestyle that was completely contrary to what our country was founded on. Marriage between a man and a woman. Christianity, you know? Oh no, our government wasn't founded on Christianity. Would you like me to go ahead and school you on how it was? The founding fathers were atheists. No, they weren't. 96% of the signers and the founders were indeed Christians. And everything about our Constitution and everything about our laws and everything about our government is based on Christianity. We can go ahead and go over that next. But it's not wrong to state facts. Now, if he starts insulting her father and saying he's not black, like that whole thing, I don't agree with that. But to sit there and say that he is a communist socialist, he is. And I'm sorry, if Donald Trump's father is going to be, I know he didn't say anything about that when they brought up that his daddy gave him $400 million, which is a complete effing lie. 1.4 million and 400 million are two different things. And what he turned 1.4 million on, I can't even begin to tell you the scope and sheer size of what he did. It would be like someone getting a $140,000 loan and creating Ace Hardware or Home Depot. What he achieved with $1.4 million is unfathomable. 256 major business LLCs, corporations, or business entities that he partners with, 6 went bankrupt, 12 have failed. 6 went bankrupt, 12 have failed. He's rocking like a 97.86 success percentage in his business model. Nobody's doing that. Ask Elon Musk if he's been that successful. Ask Warren Buffett if he's been that successful. Ask Bill Gates if he's been that successful. Windows 95. Give me a break. So they can bring up his dad, but the moment he brings up, he needs to stop. He can't do that. He can't say that. He can't speak the truth. How dare he? Give me a break. Give me a break. If you think that there is an independent group of people who are still trying to decide between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, I have got a bridge to sell you. It's made out of cheese and it's on the moon. We're going to have to get it down here and we can do that. But right now, I'm interested for you to buy it. Give me a break. You really believe that 7% of the country, like all the other elections, the last 24 years, the elections have been a sea hair tight. It's not going to change. It's not about getting new voters. It's about changing other voters. And you must expose the truth on Kamala Harris if you want people to change their vote or not show up. If you don't want them to show up, or you want them to change their vote, you must tell them the truth. You must not lie to them. Is Donald Trump perfect? No. I think Donald Trump can be a dick. I've said it. Leeroy said it. Amy said it. Olivia said it. But you know what? I'll take a dick versus a communist, fascist, fake, radical, phony. She said it last night. She told you she spent $55 trillion in the first 22 minutes of that debate. $55 trillion. Do you know what happens to the United States of America if we hit the 50 trillion threshold? We're only 16 trillion away. Each president in the last how many years has spent at least on an average, $4.6 trillion in their presidency? We are 3 presidencies away from eclipsing that. And you and I both know with what's going on with China and Taiwan, with what's going on with Ukraine, you're a military mind. You know what's going to happen with Africa. You know what's going to happen with the Congo. You know what's going to happen with North Korea and South Korea. Do you really believe that we're not going to be spending $1.5 trillion on some undeclared war when we get Democrats in office? Of course we are. And when we hit 50 trillion, 196 some odd world economists, pretty much the entire top 10% of world and global economists say that the United States will never recover. The moment that we reach $50 trillion, our country is done. I don't want to, we put Kamala Harris and our country's going to fall apart. Yes, it is. But that's the slow burn. The fast burn is hitting $50 trillion in our national debt. At that point, the interest rate will be so unbearable that there is no hope for the United States to have a surplus. And without a surplus, you are in free fall and you are in decline. Donald Trump has said it perfectly well. We are in, I can't see you.
Hi.
I can't see you. What's up?
I just want to say
How are you feeling? Okay, we'll get better. Okay, I love you. So
I need to do donation.
I don't know. I don't think we have gotten one donation. I haven't even asked for donations yet. We got one and usual suspect. But yeah, if you can put it in. Folks, linktapgo.com/the dumb show. I haven't even really talked about donations tonight. I've been going off. But if you like what you hear, you like the show, and you want it to continue, and you want the truth, the only way to do that is to fund it. We've done everything we can. We've went to vendors. We've went to places like Wimkin. We've went and got our T-shirts, and we're doing, but it's not enough. So we need your help. This is expensive. This isn't cheap. To run the lights, to run the broadband, we just had Comcast increase our bill $1,000 a month on internet. We did over 10 terabytes of streaming in a week. We're pushing almost 50 terabytes. They're not having it anymore. So we're getting hit with penalties left and right. So we're going to be here. If you can help us, that would be a good thing. We got a downvote. Oh, who was it? Somebody got butthurt on YouTube. God, that's so mean. He tells us the truth and we don't like it and we don't know how to combat it. I've got sand in my vagina. I've tried showing some of my friends who are voting for her the truth. They are not budging. They're only voting for her because she has a vagina. Some people are just so stupid. I hate Trump's personality, but could care less about that because he knows how to run the country. I don't hate Trump's personality, to be honest with you. I just think he can be a dick, and so can I. You know what I mean? I think Trump is a necessary... Okay, this is quickly, before we get into all the good stuff. Donald Trump is a break glass in case of emergency. How did I get downvoted on YouTube? Oh, YouTube peeps, you got to take care of me. Seriously. The Real Outlaws, better get in there and start working. It's probably a groiper. He probably heard the Nick Fuentes thing. And those guys are like all ready to commit Harry Carey. They're ready to throw themselves in the oven and gas themselves, those little Nazi bastards. I know. Did I hurt their feelings too? Did I hurt their families' feelings, Kyung? The Nazi sympathizers. Anyway, got downvoted on YouTube. Bummer. So once again, if you haven't, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the like button. Combat these fools. Come on. Help us out. Hit the like button. Smash the like button. Oh, someone took it off. They hit the wrong one. Thank you, YouTube person. See, someone hit the wrong button. That's what it was. How dare you? Nobody does that on us. No, we don't need no stinking badges. I swear to God, somebody just took it off. It just popped up. You think I'm kidding? Here it is. See? Someone downvoted on YouTube and then they just took it off. So somebody's like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. See? Amy, someone took it off. All right. Outlaws, I was telling you to regulate, man. You're my guy. Go regulate YouTube. Don't let people downvote us on YouTube, man. I appreciate Victoria. Just don't hit the downvote button. All right. So Kyung, I love you. You know that. What's going on the last 3 weeks? Is it just like you're tired of Trump? You're sick. You're disenfranchised. You're upset. What is it? I'm not saying he did well last night, but let's go through it. Outlaw, I know you did. I was asking you to regulate because you're the real outlaw. You know, the regulators, Young Guns 1 and 2. Come on, man. Stick with me here. 80s and 90s nostalgia. Shot down in a blaze of glory. No? Okay. All right. So let's go. Okay, good. He's got me good. So let's go through it. I mean, let's just have a conversation. If you guys want to call in, somebody call in. It's fine. 804-212-2208. Debbie says, I sure hope people realize how dangerous it is for them to vote for Camilla. She is only brainwashing people. Why can't everyone see that? Here's the thing, Debbie, is I don't think she's brainwashing people. She hasn't said enough. They're already there. The colleges and the universities have taken care of that. The DEI indoctrination, the revisionist history, the 1619 Project, all of that stuff has already done that. They've brainwashed our youth. But I will tell you, I think the youth vote's going to surprise you. I really do. I think a lot of people are just like, bullshit, I'm done. Don't underestimate white people from being pissed off. We only activate about 40% overall. Hey, thanks, Sir Stimpy. Oh, that was Stimpy. He always donates, and I love him. Thank you so much, buddy. Anybody else, folks? We're trying to keep the old train chugging. Chugga, 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 choo, choo. Not really hard. Linktabgo.com/the dumb show. It is hard to find the money nowadays, so I understand that. Don't feel like we're going to go off the air if you don't send us a donation. We're asking for the people who have the ability. For those that don't, just hit like and share, okay? This will always be free. We will stay on the air. We will find a way. If we got to come off some channels, if we got to make the show shorter, we'll figure it out. Don't worry. But we would rather just keep it where it's at and keep growing. And the best way to do that is obviously what moves everything in the world today, cold, hard cash. All right, let's go over it together. Let's go over some things. All right, so Trump's abortion stance. And this is for you. This is for everyone who's listening, for you to go out in the world and feed the liberals. Feed them. You know that guy from Game of Thrones about Scott's lawn care? Feed your lawn. Feed it. Feed liberals. Over the weekend, I must have had 1,000 comments that I left. I must have written 40,000 words. And some are 7-8 paragraphs of answers to people who said things. And I was literally combating liberals. And I banned some too. Whenever they start getting, they start talking about Nazis and I give them a warning and then they're gone. Once they cross that line, they get banned. But I do my part to keep that page. One thing that people always say about the page is, as busy as the Don't Unfriend Me Facebook page is that it's clean. There's no ads. There's no spam about, Uncle Peter's blackhead penal removal cream and all that shit. Or, oh, Don't Unfriend Me wants to send you $1,000. That stuff's not on my page. We don't allow those people. We destroy them. There's not a lot of bots of, I'm sorry that I'm interrupting your day, but I find every post you make extremely interesting. Whoosh, here's my legs. They're up in the air. Do me. But send me your Social Security first. Those aren't on my page. And we keep the conversation fairly civil. When somebody crosses the line, left or right, they go away. But this is 25 things that you can go ahead and use. Write it down. Clip it if you want to. Memorize it. Whatever. Tom says, Matt, looking for the future. Okay, I'm not gonna repeat that. If certain dual humped water retentive horse says gets elected, what can we do? Have a constitutional convention and restate our Declaration of Independence? No. Tom, there's no way if Kamala Harris gets in that we are going to have a convention of states, because in order to have a convention of states, as you know, you need a 2/3 majority, and there's not going to be 10 states that will jump on board with the Republican ticket to do so. It's not going to happen. That's the problem. Is that even the ability to change the Constitution to that we have a right to in so many words repair by force if necessary our government if it moves to tyrannical rule, it's still the options to do that without violence is a convention of states, and 2/3 of states have to agree. It's still government control. The ability for us to overthrow or to make change through violence is a fallacy. The only way you do that is if you control the state media, if you control the people in Congress and House, and Black Lives Matter and groups like that do, because they have the ear of those politicians. Do you notice how J6ers, whether you agree with them or not, and I don't, none of them got the support, the real support, just as bad as BLM. Give me a break. BLM went after federal buildings. They burned down police stations. They threw fecal matter, fireworks at police officers, blinded cops, had cops go deaf, blew off fingers. You're kidding me? That's not insurrection. It's on federal property. Why isn't that insurrection? Why isn't that seditious conspiracy? Why? Because they're not in power. So when we sit here and pretend, and Republicans have no spine. Now, do I believe that some of the J6ers should be in jail? Yes. With no equivocation. Absolutely 100%. It was a setup. It was the FBI. Okay. We're not going to do this. Not tonight. But what I'll tell you is on September 11th, is that crimes in the United States should be punished. And yes, people are upset and they got their blood up and everything else. And I just said every single person who rioted with BLM should be in jail. But should be and are two different things. So let's talk about the inequity. Let's not talk about the action. Let's talk about the lawlessness that takes place and the dual justice system that takes place, because that's the real crux to this whole thing. We don't want anyone rioting. The point is that you got one group that riots and another group that riots. Explain to me why they're both not held accountable to the same standard. Well, it's obvious. So let's point out that. What if they put her in right now before the election? What's the point? What's the point? We did the cats last night. Matt, I heard a possibility of neither Trump or Harris getting 270 electoral votes. How is that settled? We will talk about that. And that is a very interesting thing. Let's do this. Let's go over the 25 lies first, and then we can talk about not reaching 270. Someone will reach 270. The chances of it being a tie or both not reaching 270 is interdependent on a third party gaining state votes. And that's not going to happen. Now, the reason why they want to keep RFK and Michigan and everything else is because they obviously want to siphon votes from Trump. But that's not going to stop Kamala from winning. So when there is a viable third party candidate that can come in and take states away from both of the primary candidates, that is the way you get a no to 270. It's not going to happen now. There's no chance. JFK is not going to win a state. There's not a snowball's chance in hell. But that's how that happens. Does that make sense? Okay, let's move on. Trump's abortion stance. Pretty simple. Harris said, if I'm wrong, and if I say anything that's not correct, and you're a liberal and you're a Kamala fan, call me and say, Matt, no, that's not right. Okay? Correct me. I want you to. I just don't want Kyung to correct me anymore. She said Trump would impose a national abortion ban, and he would hire a monitor for pregnancies and miscarriages. Trump's platform in no way, shape, or form, Agenda 47, says no such thing. He has stuck with what he's always stuck with, that Roe v. Wade is unconstitutional, and it is because the Supreme Court founded it to be so, and that the reserve powers in the 10th Amendment lies and resides with the state, period. That's all he said. Trump even said, well, are you going to go ahead and veto a resolution, or are you going to sign a bill that codifies? It doesn't matter, because it's not up to us. It's not a federal decision. It's a state decision. The states are now required for a 2/3 majority to propose an amendment, vote on an amendment, have it go through the House and the Senate to be codified as an amendment by the President of the United States, and then to be reviewed by the Supreme Court to ensure it's constitutional. As long as all of those things take place, they get an amendment that makes abortion a right. Until then, sorry for the language, shut the fuck up. Sorry you can't kill babies as easily as you could yesterday. Damn. I guess you're going to have to buy more Taylor Swift shit. You guys can eat more cats if that's what you want to do. Taylor Swift came out and went ahead and endorsed Kamala Harris, and she has a picture of herself with a cat. Haitians all over the country are drooling. Taylor Swift with cat. Where is it? Taylor's looking a little pinked. She's not aging well. I think she's going to age like Joan Rivers. She's going to need some work. Her face is, I don't know. That is a beautiful cat. I love the cat. It looks tasty. Between two baguettes, little barbecue sauce, charred, blackened, little Cajun seasoning. So she came out and she endorsed the cat, duck, geese, dog eating party. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that lie. And let me tell you, it's a huge blow to the United States. It's a huge blow to Donald Trump. All those 14-year-olds that are going to vote in the next election are really going to hurt when Donald Trump is no longer running. What's up?
The cat's name is Meredith, by the way.
Your girl is losing it.
I know. But the cat's
That's great.
That's from the New York Times.
Yeah, well, your girl is losing it. Did you read her statement?
I know. I'm laughing.
Protecting. Oh, I know.
I was like, please do your research. She was like, I've done my research. It's up to you who to vote for. And I'm just like, clearly you didn't, because she just said that she fell out of a coconut tree. So, okay.
Yeah, my daughter loves Taylor Swift, like adores her, loves her songs. And that's great because I like Taylor Swift's music too. There's nothing, I have no problem with Taylor Swift. I have a problem that she is endorsing. I mean, she's a cat lover. That should say enough. They care more about cats than they do about babies. That should tell you something. You know what I mean? Cares more about cats than babies. I don't understand. And I love cats. I love cats. Love cats. I don't love them more than babies. Sorry. I don't love them more than human beings. I don't understand. I'm confused. All right. So abortion, number one. That's number one lie. Completely 100% unadulterated lie. Fracking ban. She claimed that she never supported banning fracking. I will not ban fracking. Yet when she ran in 2020, her campaign, she said she supported banning it. You're talking about less than 4 years ago. 100% supported banning fracking. And if she supports the Green New Deal, which she does, she has talked about how she was the singular vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which has the most green climate control, climate change initiative legislation ever in U.S. history on one bill. Then you know she's not for fracking. See, this is the problem. It's like somehow we are now in the movie Idiocracy, where people believe what politicians say. Have you not been paying attention since you were, I don't know, 5? 5? I've got 30-minute video that I can show you on the city council meetings that I watched. 8 hours of the city council meetings in Ohio, where people repeatedly over and over. You know what? Everyone's like, "Oh no, this whole thing is overblown, and it's it's not true. There are no police reports. It's fake." Oh, really? Here you go. Clark County Communications Center for larceny. Talks about 4 people killing a dog and cooking it. If you want a copy of this, I got it for you. I guess we're just blowing it out of proportion, right? Just blowing it out of proportion. That's the dog. How about the cats? How about the ducks? Listen, if it's one, it doesn't matter. If it's one pet, it doesn't matter. We get upset when the Golden frickin' Peking restaurant, we say that there's not an alley cat in the neighborhood because it's all going into their Kung Pao chicken. We're more upset about that than actual, in my opinion, illegal immigrants who were dumped into this city with a by your leave, who are destroying a city of 50,000 people, 20,000 immigrants. Let me ask you a question. How did y'all react to Martha's Vineyard when you had a couple of hundred of immigrants dropped off in your backyard and you guys are worth trillions combined? Can you explain it to me? Can you guys explain it to me in Martha's Vineyard? Oh, we can't handle this infrastructure. Oh, well, either can this little city of 50,000. Explain that to me. I watched 8 hours of city council meetings while I was working in the background and listened to every single one of these testimonies. I showed you 4 of them last night. These are people who openly are saying that that animals are being eaten on the street. So what are they lying? They're making it up? Then the city commissioner says, or the city planner, or the city zoner, or the city whatever, says, oh, no, it's not true. Well, I've got the mayor coming out and saying that his entire city is so burdened by the amount of influx of Haitian illegal drop-offs that they can't function, that businesses can't function, that people are fleeing the city. Is he lying? What about the hours and hours of testimony? What about the police report I just showed you? How many more do you want me to see? How many more do you want me to show you? Give me a break. Now Judy says that the governor is sending the National Guard to Springfield. Oh yeah, it's no big deal. Nick Freitas said it best. He's like, the way this, and I'm going to steal from Nick Freitas because I love Nick. Nick doesn't know me from Adam, but I love Nick Freitas. Nick Freitas, and he says, this is phase 1 of the reporting out of 4 phases. The first report is there are no cats and ducks and dogs being eaten by Haitians in anywhere in the United States. This is a flat lie. Step 2. So what does it matter if some illegal immigrants eat some ducks and dogs and cats? Really? How does it affect you? Number 3. Listen, you're just going to need to embrace that this is a part of the way the United States has always been, that we embrace people with different cultures and different beliefs, and we must embrace people eating cats and dogs and your pets. And your pets are a part of the price. They're not your pets. You didn't create them. And in our government of equal distribution and wealth, you need to ensure that your pets are available to feed people. Number 4, if you don't have your pet die, you're racist. Have we heard this before? Sure, we heard it with Russian collusion. There is no conspiracy to go after Donald Trump and his campaign. Okay, well, if we did, we were justified. 3, all future campaigns will go ahead and have wiretaps. 4, you just need to understand that Republicans are Nazis and our democracy is under threat. Does this sound familiar? I can do this all day. I can do this for you all day. Nick Freitas, genius. I just wish I would have thought of it. So fracking, we know she's going to ban fracking. The only reason she's saying she's not going to ban fracking is the same reason Joe Biden did, is because he wants Pennsylvania and she wants Pennsylvania. But here's the thing, America. You know Donald Trump won't ban fracking. You know he won't. He deregulated more climate control legislation than any other president in U.S. history. Give me a break. She might not ban fracking. You know Donald Trump won't. Okay, so there's Donald Trump. You know that Donald Trump will not vote for a 9-month abortion policy. You don't know she won't. You know Donald Trump won't. He kicked it back to the states. He wants the states to decide. So now there's 2 things right there. The 2 lies that Kamala Harris said. You know he won't ban fracking, and you know he's not going to go ahead and ban abortion. Give me a break. He didn't ban abortion. He could have. I mean, he really could have when he did the Supreme Court. He could have forced the Republican states to pass a federal legislation at that point and forced a vote on it. He didn't do it. Give me a break. So there's 2 things, okay? 2 things. I'm going to give you the 3rd thing. IVF. Oh, give me a break. Harris tried to link Trump's abortion stance to in vitro fertilization. That's what IVF is. Everyone knows what it is. Claim that couples are being denied IVF under Trump's abortion bans. Trump has been one of the most avid supporters of IVF. Trump has worked on legislation to protect IVF, to make it easier for couples to have babies. Because why? Because Republicans actually want to have children. This is so rich. A person who supports up to 9-month abortions, who her fucking vice president signed an abortion ban and also signed legislation after birth with decision by mother and doctor. It's a lie. Tells you, oh, IVF, we need to protect parents' abilities to have kids. What? So they can abort them? There's 3 things. You're going to vote for Kamala because of IVF? Donald Trump never went after IVF. Donald Trump supported IVF. So you don't know what she's going to do, but what you know, she's going to murder babies. She wants to murder babies. So let me get this straight. So for every 10 that you rip out of the womb, you want 1 person who possibly with IVF, with the odds of IVF actually being successful, have a child. Do you know what the ratio to proportion of aborted babies to babies born IVF are? It's over 100 to 1. So essentially, you want to put the overall growth of the United States, which is absolutely the most imperative thing to a civilized society, is to continue to breed. Ask Japan how that's going. Japan is going to be 30% smaller in the next 15 years and up to 60% smaller in the next 30. Why? Because everyone's dying because they're old and nobody has babies. Because they watch Pokemon and they have dreams of sleeping with 13-year-old girls in school outfits. They're fucking weird. I lived there. I know. All the men are emasculated. They've all turned them into a bunch of beta males who dress up in women's clothing and have spiky Yu-Gi-Oh hair. They're the next airbender. Give me a break. Japan is struggling because of effeminate males, and masculinity has left. They need more Yakuza and bicycle gangs. The United States, for the first time in U.S. history, had more illegal immigrants than newborn babies born last year. Fact check me. Fact check me. Go fuck yourself. Fact check me. I'm mad. Any liberal out there, go fuck yourself. Fact check me. Show me the proof that I'm wrong. Even on the basis that if we had 4 million to 10 million illegal immigrants in 2023 to 2024, even if you take the low number, we had more illegal immigrants enter this country illegally than we had newborn babies. Go check me out. Bring it on. Come on my show. 804-212-2208 and fact check me. Debate me. Come on. Bring it. You know what you're going to find? You might actually find that I'm right. And when I am, what are you going to do? If she's lying about the first three things, what else is she lying about? Well, I'll tell you, because there's 22 other things to go. Trump's not going to stop IVF. It's a lie. And if you think I don't know this stuff verbatim for a reason, it's because I do my homework. One of my good friends and a listener of this show said, Matt, how do you fact check your stuff? And I said, my mind. Right here. Because I will not allow myself to forget the things that are most important, and I will not fill my head with the mundane, so I forget the most important. This is why I don't get caught up in the stolen election and J6 and all this bullshit. I don't get caught whether Joe Biden rides his bike effectively or he's wearing a diaper or Trump's wearing a diaper or whether he tans himself or he's in a bodysuit. I don't give a shit about any of those things. I don't care about Hunter Biden. I care about the facts. I do not allow the mundane to enter my mind, so therefore I cannot forget the most important things. Go check me. More illegal immigrants entered this country than newborn babies last year. Yeah. How about Project 2025? You guys remember this? She alleged that Trump would implement Project 2025 if reelected. Oh, Project 2025. Oh, my God. Like the Saul Alinsky playbook. Like Mein Kampf. Like the Marxist-Leninist teachings of these liberal schools. Those aren't bad. The George Soros New World Order playbook is not bad. But Project 2025 is the devil. You know what? There's a lot of shit in Project 2025 that is just stupid and nuts and is totally Paul Ryan 2014 Tea Party after Ron Paul when the Koch brothers and the crazy religious zealots went in and bought like Michelle Bachmann. Oh, that fucking lady. If Michelle Bachmann never speaks again, I'll be fine. That woman is complete nuts. And I understand some people supported her, and I'm not knocking you. Yes, I am. If you supported her, you need to check yourself. That woman was crazy. So's Paul Ryan. They are neocon Christian zealots. They would be Opus Dei if they were Catholic, okay? Truth. You may not like what you just heard. I don't care, because it's the truth. That's why they're not around anymore. They hate Trump. Trump has repeatedly denied. How many times does he have to disavow it? How many times does he have to say, listen, lady, I've got nothing to do with Project 2025? It's a slow night for donations tonight, folks. I got to get it in again because we got to keep the show going. The show, on average, is anywhere from $125 to $150 a night to run. So we got to keep talking about the donations until we get that momentum going. So I got to bring it up again. linktapgo.com/thedumshow. We are 100% funded by our viewers. I appreciate everything you do, everyone who can help out. Even the smallest donations make a difference. If you have the ability and you're not in a situation where you can't, please don't push yourself. Don't feel like, oh my God, if I don't do this. But we do need to make our goal. It keeps us moving. You notice how we're not asking for tens of thousands of dollars. We're not asking to get your bank account information. We're not asking you to buy something new every day. This show is just trying to continue forward. So if you enjoy it and you watch it, is it worth $5? Is it worth $10, $25, $100? You get to decide. But help us out and make the show free for everyone. We appreciate you. Thank you. Hold on one second. Okay. I had to tell my wife. To do something. All right. So there's your three. Here's another one. Remember when Kamala Harris said this? Thank you so much. I believe that is Karen. Thank you, Karen. $10. We appreciate it. That helps. It makes a difference. It's seriously, every single donation makes it a little bit easier. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Remember when Kamala Harris said, I'm a middle-class kid? Bullshit. She referred to herself as a middle-class kid. Her father, Stanford professor, he taught communist socialist leanings at UC Berkeley. He was a biomedical scientist. But all of his papers and dissertations were all focused around communism. Any of his written works afterwards was focused on communist and socialist beliefs. He is a self-proclaimed communist socialist. It's Berkeley. Are you kidding me? The man, do you know what Stanford professors make? Give me a break. She wasn't middle class. She was never middle class. The only thing middle class about her is possibly between her and Willie Brown and another woman. Okay, that was uncalled for. See, that's attacking her. Whoops. Sorry. To Kamala Harris, I apologize. You're a classy individual who would never have a menage a trois with Willie Brown. What was I thinking? It would be you, Willie Brown, and Montel Williams. Montel Williams would catch in the situation, I'm pretty sure. Moving on. Lie. She's not middle class. So if she's telling the middle class that she's middle class, don't we take that personally? Don't we get upset at that? Doesn't that bother us? Isn't our group important to us? I mean, we're the middle class. We're a mighty demographic. And doesn't it bother us when rich people try to relate to us and they're not authentic? And doesn't it bother us that somehow we get guilted in that we're horrible people because we don't prostrate ourselves to the lower class? So why are we allowing a rich elitist to say that she is middle class? Doesn't that bother you? Bothers me. Donald Trump has never claimed to be middle class. He was in a blue-collar business as a white-collar man. He's rich. He even said he was one of them. Even when he was talking about his own taxes. He said he knows the system's rigged because he takes advantage of the same things that they do. If they want it fixed, change the law. He's never lied about that. He's never lied about being an elite. But he relates to the middle class because he understands what we're going through. Because he listens. Kamala Harris isn't out there. She's not listening to anybody. She's not out there taking questions and fielding them from people. She's not having town halls. She's not having rallies where they're not supported by concert goers. That's another lie. People show up to my rally. No, you pay for free concerts and you pay multi-million-dollar celebrities to play a full concert if people can just tolerate to listen to your ass. And why wouldn't you do it at the end of the concert? Why do you do it right before the concert? Because you make people stay. You're like those companies that sell timeshares. We'll give you a $150 gift card to Best Buy, but first you must listen for 2 hours and sign your life away on a property you will never utilize. You're a fucking timeshare salesman, lady. You force people to listen to your bullshit so they can get a free concert. Why don't you do it before the concert? Why don't you do it after the concert? Why don't you do it right when they get there? Kamala Harris first, then 1 hour of talking, and then a concert. People won't show up till 45 minutes into the people talking. They're only there for the concert. At least they show up. Listen, Donald Trump's been doing the same rally. Thank God. Bobby Richardson, thank you. Thank you for helping the Don't Unfriend Me show. $26.25. You're the best. It's like, you know, I feel like I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's not a tumor. Why? Donald Trump has been doing the same rally, folks, since 2015. He's been doing the same rally for 9 years. The same music, the same song, the same speech, and people still show up. They showed a video of people leaving today in the middle of a speech. That's because they got turned away at the door, you morons, because there wasn't enough room in the venue. Anyone who's been to a Trump rally will tell you that liberals are full of crap. It's the best seat in town. People show up at frickin' midnight the night before and camp out and wait so they can guarantee a spot. Give me a break. The guy has collected over 55 million emails and phone numbers in 9 years. The Kamala Harris campaign has to pay for that. The DNC pays for emails and phone numbers. Donald Trump gets it for free. Give me a break. You're talking to the master. There's another lie. Why is she lying about that? How about gun confiscation? Oh, well, I've got a little video for you because I care. I care. I really do. I care about you. I want you to remember that. Oh, that's bright. Here you go. Just a little video. Just a little video. You guys seen the deal of the century with Gregory Hines and Chevy Chase? Just a little touch up. Just a little touch up. Flamethrower? No? Okay. Here you go. I'm not even going to tell you. I'm going to let you say it. Gun confiscation? Kamala Harris? Never. Lie. Completely lie. Why are we attacking her family? Oh. That's okay. This is much better. Wah, 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 wah. Okay. Sorry.
Stop with the continuous lying about this. I'm not taking anybody's guns away, so stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
Continuous lying. Okay. Buckle up.
I do believe that we need to do buybacks. I support buybacks.
How mandatory is your gun buyback program?
It's mandatory.
Oh.
We want to ban assault weapons.
All that lying.
We need an assault weapons ban. We need reasonable gun safety laws in this country, starting with universal background checks.
We
and
have
renewal of
27,000 pieces of legislation with words in it that have the word gun. Let me rephrase that. The word gun is 27,000 times in the current legislation, written in current legislation, ready to be heard or in proposition in the state legislature level. We have over 791 different gun laws across all 50 states. Some of them are duplicitous. It is the most regulated amendment by far. Out of the Bill of Rights, 9 amendments have been amended or changed by people. Most of them are done by liberals. You can go ahead and look that fact checked up too, liberals. Go ahead. Go look it up. Go look at the legislation on the First Amendment. Go look at the legislation on the Second. The only amendment that has not been molested and restrained by liberals is the third, which is quartering of troops. So unless England decides to invade and go ahead and put it on my farm property in the middle of Virginia, I think I'm pretty safe. It's the only one they haven't touched. I'm sure they'll find a way to touch that soon when they bring the United Nations in to take over our country. 9 of our amendments have been molested by liberal policy. Here she is. Let's go ahead and listen to all those Trump lies.
weapon ban. I'm also in favor of the assault weapons ban, of universal background checks, red flag laws. Congress needs to have the courage to act and renew the assault weapons ban. So it's clear that we must renew the assault weapons ban. Let's have an assault weapons ban. We need an assault weapons ban. Demanding, as we all do, red flag laws, universal background checks, and a renewal of the assault weapons ban. We're saying we need reasonable gun safety laws, including universal background checks. And to your point, Chris, a renewal of the assault weapons ban is just the right thing to do. But we still need an assault weapons ban. And yeah, I am radical. I do believe that we need to get radical about what we are doing and take it seriously. Decisions is my values have not changed.
How come this seat is at such a low level? You know, I'm looking at her.
We're not taking anybody's guns away, so stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
Ruh-roh, Raggy. Like G-Scoob. Raggy? Uh-oh. So she's lying to you about that. What else is she lying? If she's lying to you... Listen, there's one thing that I've done on this show for 4 years. If she's lying to you about that, what else is she lying to you about? What? Ask the why. The moment that you catch someone lying to you, all credibility stops. You don't have to ostracize them from your life. You don't have to eradicate them. You don't need to do the Spanish Inquisition, but you should be very cautious. And if you are penitent or loyal to that person, if you're involved in business with that person, if this is a person you call a friend, if this is a person you call a family member, you should hit the pause button and find out what else they're lying to you about. If Kamala Harris sits up on that national stage and tells you, don't lie about me, I was never going to take guns. I never would take guns. Did you just fucking hear what I showed you? Did you listen to any? Oh, she's changed her mind. She's changed her mind on getting radical. Radical is an action. It's not a thought. I don't care how fucking radical you are. Without action, you're not radical. You're not militant either. You can say everything you want, but until you go out and do it, you're not militant. You're not radical. This is her legislation. This is what she wants. Joe Biden has told you how many times he's going to take your guns. You would need an FA-18 to fight the government. That's right. Thank you so much for endorsing my right to have the exact same weaponry that you do. When are you going to deliver my F-22, please? Can I get it for how much Ukraine gets it? Free sounds good. I'll take an F-16. You guys can even send it from Poland for those American troops that aren't in country right now. Oh, there's another one. I can't tell you. I can't prove it to you because if I do, I could go to jail. But I'll tell you, when she said that they're not American troops in open conflict right now, she's lying to you. That is a bold-faced 100% lie. Can't tell you who, can't tell you where. I can't do it. I can't break that. But I can tell you she's lying. That is something I can tell you. But I didn't put that down. Do you know how many else I could have been here all freaking day. All day. Telling you these lies. If they're lying to you about one thing, what else are they lying to you about? How about Trump's role in January 6th? I love this. This clip should be played forever when Trump said, it's funny how you left out. God, I'm so frustrated with this. In the speech, when he said peaceful and what was the other word? Oh, God, I have the speech memorized. Obviously, I don't. I'll just get the clip. What are you saying? Peaceful and legal? Someone's going to help me. Patriotic. That's right. Patriotic and peaceful. Thank you. It's like funny how you left that out. You know what's funny? I said the same. See, this is where I said the exact same thing on a liberal, Amy Stancombe will tell you, who was coming after me and he was talking about J6. And he said, we'll march down there. I'll go down there together. And I said, it's funny how you left out patriotic and peaceful when he specifically told people not to do anything but be patriotic and peaceful. I said the exact same thing. Peaceful and patriotically. Trump told protesters to peacefully and patriotically. That is correct. And to express themselves, and even considered deploying the 10,000 National Guards. Now, Donald Trump never had a formal written declaration to activate the D.C. National Guard. And even though he has the ability to inform and request, he did not formally request. Mark Meadows asked a question. There's a very big difference. And I have fact-checked this against Trump, and I've hit him on this. He did not, and last night he didn't say he formally requested, he asked, and that is true. He asked. He didn't demand, he didn't say, he didn't write a formal request. They asked, should they have additional security and bring in the National Guard? That's still important, and I've defended him on that. But there is no demand for it. I think that's very important. It's very important to distinguish between the two, and he was correct. Mark Meadows inquired to Nancy Pelosi and the DC Mayor Bowser if National Guard should be exercised during this rally. Okay? Melanie says, did my tip go through? I don't know. My wife's watching it. Hold on, Melanie. Let me see. Olivia is doing both tonight. She probably didn't check it. Let me ask her. Okay. She's checking. So, January 6th, right? She said it was the worst attack on the democracy ever. She said the January 6th attack was the worst attack since the Civil War. It didn't compare anything to World Wars, Pearl Harbor, or even 9/11. What is she talking about? She said police officers died. No police officers died that day. Officer Sicknick died following heart complications and a stroke. Others commit suicide. Melanie, thank you so much. He's right when he said Ashley Babbitt died that day. And I'm not going to go into the Ashley Babbitt thing. You know how I feel about this. I am a law and order guy. I think January 6th was stupid. I think it gave liberals every bit of information. And even if you believe the FBI and Antifa and they instigated everything, it doesn't matter. If I'm in a car with 4 people and I'm sitting in the middle in the back seat and they're like, we're going to go rob a 7-Eleven, you know what I'm going to say? Fuck no. I'm leaving. Get me out of this car. I don't care how convincing Antifa and FBI were. You don't go do those things. Oh, they were fired up. Yeah, and there's consequences for their actions. I'm sure Tyreek Hill going 100 miles an hour on a 35 was fired up. But guess what? He broke the fucking law. Vicky. Thanks, Vicky. Appreciate you. Thanks, everybody. So that's my point. Don't break the law. It's simple. 57,000 people were there that day. They all went home. They took the train home. They drove their vehicles home. They stood in traffic. They walked home. They didn't riot. They didn't trespass. They didn't break windows. They didn't beat up cops. Well, Matt, they let them in. Yeah, they did. People let them in. Some people tried to stop them, and other people didn't know what to do.
Did you receive the tip for $20? Did that pop up?
Yeah, they all popped up. The one who was wondering if her tip went through was Melanie Sherry.
Well, we received a tip for $20, but there's no name on it. And I think
Melanie, if your tip was $20, then that was you. It was probably one of those damn cats climbed on my phone. Well, thank you, Melanie. We appreciate you. Yeah, she's good. Yeah, we appreciate everybody. So,
I'm teaching her how to play a song on the piano.
That's great. Anyway, so I'm not going to get into J6. You guys know how I feel about J6. Some of you agree with me. Some of you disagree with me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We just need to understand that we don't support lawlessness of any kind. We're thin blue line supporters. There's Melanie Sherry. Thank you, Melanie. See, it came up. She got you. All right, so let's talk about the 9-month abortion ban. Oh, okay. You know what? Folks, I bring my receipts. So remember, all we got to do is have one lie to disprove this. And then here's another lie, right? Because if one person, one Democrat proposed legislation to extend abortions to 9 months or after, then she's lying. Isn't that fair? Because she is the head representative of the Democratic Party. And if a person in her party said that, she must own it. If there is one constituent in her state who is a legislative body, an elected representative, she must own it. And she could say, absolutely, Virginia did. I will tell you this is not something that we endorse across party wide. We have outliers. We do not control the states. And then I would say, oh, really? So you do agree with the 10th Amendment, huh? So you are now on board with having Roe v. Wade back to the states? I just wish Trump would hire me for debates. Seriously, just bring me in. Put me in, coach. I'm ready. I'm so ready for you. All right, here you go. Here's one. Here's just one. How do I know? Because this son of a bitch was our governor. And Youngkin went after McAuliffe and him. Northam and McAuliffe. Two complete. This is the guy who wore the KKK outfit or the black makeup. We don't know which one he was in the photograph. Yeah, but he didn't get canceled. Gina Carano is still fired from Disney in a great show in The Mandalorian, and this son of a bitch is still breathing and upright. Here it is. Remember, one lie. That's all you got to prove. One time. Okay, here you go. Merry Christmas.
No exception. There was a very contentious committee hearing yesterday when Fairfax County Delegate Kathy Tran made her case for lifting restrictions on third trimester abortions, as well as other restrictions now in place. And she was pressed by a Republican delegate about whether her bill would permit an abortion, even as a woman is essentially dilating, ready to give birth. And she answered that it would permit an abortion at that stage of labor. Do you support her measure and explain her answer?
Yeah, and I wasn't there, Julie, and I certainly can't speak for Delegate Tran, but I would tell you first thing I would say is this is why decisions such as this should be made by providers, physicians, and the mothers and fathers that are involved. There are, when we talk about third trimester abortions, these are done with the consent of obviously the mother, with the consent of the physicians, more than one physician, by the way. And it's done in cases where there may be severe deformities, there may be a fetus that's non-viable. So in this particular example, if a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother. So I think this was really blown out of proportion. But again, we want the government not to be involved in these types of decisions. We want the decision to be made by the mothers and their providers. And this is why, Julie, that legislators, most of whom are men, by the way, shouldn't be telling a woman what she should and shouldn't be doing with her body.
And do you think multiple physicians should have to weigh in as is currently required? She's trying to lift that requirement.
Well, I think it's always good to get a second opinion and for at least two providers to be involved in that decision, because these decisions shouldn't be taken lightly. And so, I would certainly support more than one provider.
All right, let's go.
Ooh. God, I fucking love my job. Like, some people are like, get a job, dude. No, I have a job and I'm really good at it. I really am. I may not be the most, glamorous and, all that to look at, and may not be everybody's cup of tea as far as my vernacular and presentation. I may not be as affable as I need to, but man, I get my shit dialed in. There you go. There's one. Oh, but wait. There's more, folks. There's more. Because one isn't good enough. Because two is just as good as one. So let's do that. Oh, by the way, Tim Walz, just thought I'd give you a little information. They did a little fact check last night on Fox and some other stations. 8 babies were born and summarily put to death in Minnesota. Liberals, fuck you. Fact check me. Call me. 804-212-2208. Would you like to? I've got the death certificates. I'll show them to you. Would you like to see them? I can show them to you. I'd be happy to. But first,
to do that,
there's more. I mean, this is like freaking a buy one, get one freaking forever. Kamala lying about her party supporting abortions up to 9 months and even beyond. Say it ain't so, Kamala. Here it is.
Delegate Tran.
Yes, sir.
How late in a pregnancy would your bill apply if a physician was simply willing to certify that the continuation of the pregnancy would impair the mental health of the woman? How late are we talking about?
Well, so the way the suggestion that we've made in the bill is to say it's in the third trimester and at the, with the certification of the physician. So
how late in the third trimester would you be able to do that?
It's very unfortunate that our physicians, witnesses, were not able to attend today.
Come on, Kung Pao.
No, I'm talking about your bill. How late?
Come on, Fing Fang. Where's Swalwell? Is she a Chinese spy?
In the third trimester.
She's not Chinese, by the way. That is horrible of me. I'm sorry. But everyone gets hit on my show.
Could a physician
Look at the angry woman behind her who's just like, I want to murder another baby. I want to eat baby.
perform an abortion if he indicated it would impair the mental health of the woman?
Or physical health.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm talking about the mental health.
So, I mean, through the third trimester. The third trimester goes all the way up to 40 weeks.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, well, that's, hey, we know Kamala has openly said she supports that. Tim Walz openly signed a bill in front of everyone where women applauded him up to 9 months, third trimester, right before the baby spits out and starts crying and needs, the colostoms to survive and gets the nose plugs and gets put under the warmer and skin on skin contact as that little beautiful baby, a human life. The only thing that changed was its location. That's it. Still a baby. Always has been. The moment of conception, it's a baby. Just the location changed. It's been a baby for a long time. But you guys, not a baby, not a baby. Clump of cells, clump of cells, clump of cells. You fucking degenerates.
But to the end of the third trimester.
Yep, I don't think we have a limit in the bill.
So,
what? Wait, Dip Sam do. No way. Hold on.
In the bill.
What?
But to the end of the third trimester.
Yep, I don't think we have a limit in the bill.
But
what?
To the end of the third trimester.
Yep, I don't think we have a limit in the bill.
What?
To the end of the third trimester.
Yep, I don't think we have a limit in the bill.
What?
But to the end of the third trimester.
Yep, I don't think we have a limit in the bill.
So,
where it's obvious that a woman is about to give birth. She has physical signs of that she is about to give a birth.
It gets better. Wait, there's more. Not only can you murder a baby after it's been born, but you get a free set of steak knives.
Birth. Would that still be a point at which she could request an abortion if she was so certified? She's dilating.
Mr. Chairman, that would be
come on.
Decision that the doctor.
Come on, Peking Garden. Let's go. Come on now. Let's come. You want this. You support this. You endorse this. This is your legislation. You don't get to go ahead and play coy now. Say it. Say it. You want to make murdering babies now not something that's innocuous in the tummy that the woman doesn't have to look at because they put a sheet up. But you want that baby to breach and breathe air. What, you go ahead and use the Bible only when you fucking want to? Talking about breath. So therefore life only happens when the baby breathes? Well, the baby breathes inside the womb, you dipshits. Oh yeah, but it's done to an umbilical cord and an embryonic sac, so it breathes completely different. Without the mother, it doesn't breathe. That's right. Without the mother, it doesn't breathe. And by the way, you fucking morons, a baby has a 100% chance of living if you don't abort it. It's not guaranteed to survive. It's not guaranteed to live, but I guarantee it's a 100% chance it won't if you rip it out of the womb, rip its limbs off, collect its stem cells, and go ahead and suck it with a vacuum cleaner. I'm pretty confident that most babies are going to be resistant to that procedure. But let's hear if Dip Fam Do has something to say.
The physician and the woman.
I understand that. I'm asking if your bill allows that.
My bill would allow that, yes.
Uh-oh. Well, I guess that puts that
Delegate
to bed.
Tran.
Yes, sir.
How late in a pregnancy would you?
So let me make sure I understand this. You've got two legislators, one a governor, one a state legislature proposing amendments. You've got Tim Walz, who's on the vice president ticket, who allowed 9 babies to be excavated from the womb, born. Because you guys call it a clump of cells, so I'm going to use the word excavated. How about dissected? Is that better? A baby that's living and breathing, that has sustainable life, where a doctor has given the Hippocratic Oath to do no harm. To do no fucking harm. And you murder that child. This is what you want on your ticket. This is what we want. Caller, where are you from? Yeah, I'm on a roll. So let's. Is this Frank?
Yeah.
Frank, give it to me quick. You got 1 minute.
Matthew, I just want to give you one piece of advice.
Sure, buddy.
Please do not clean up your language.
Okay.
That is your freedom of speech is everything. Please, I don't care what anybody else says. Oh, clean it up, don't cuss so much. This is what we love about you, is your ability to speak your mind. Please do not stop that.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
I love you for it. Thank you, Frank. Love you too, buddy. You're the best. That means a lot. And here's the thing, is my mom taught me to speak in colorful metaphors, and I do not have a monosyllabic vocabulary. I am a wordsmith. My vocabulary reaches and extends well beyond vulgarity. But sometimes, and now more importantly, I feel empowered by Megyn Kelly. Like I said, 12 times today, she said shit. You know what? I'm done worrying. Listen, I'm a Christian as best as I can be. I'm a good man. I'm a moral man. But I cuss. Why do I cuss? Because I'm frustrated. And so I don't put my fist through a wall. I go ahead and I let it out. And this is where I'm at my best. If it bothers you, I'm sorry. I'll try to keep it to a limit. I've dropped the real harsh language as best I can. But Frank's right. I got to be me. I've got to be me. I've got to be free. And if I can't be, honestly, what am I? I'm just another stage stooge. I'm just another person up here who's just a complete stooge. So here it is. So frustrating. Minnesota rioters bail fund. Harris shook her head when Trump accused her of raising money to bail out left-wing rioters. It's a lie. 2020, she encouraged donations to bail funds for those arrested during the Minnesota riots. She asked for these. Not only does her daughter raise money for Hamas, which is also attacking her family. Marky says, a wordsmith. I thought you were a cocksmith. How do you think I became a cocksmith? It's because of my wordsmithing. Thank you very much. She lied. It's a lie. She did bail out. Her, Maxine Waters, every other liberal, Nader. They all stood on the steps and they said that these people were peaceful protesting as cities were burning behind them. CNN, MSNBC, where film crews are there. People are throwing dog shit at cops, throwing fireworks, bottles of ice, bricks, and gas masks, which are there by the pallet load. Who paid for that? Who paid for gas masks, bricks, water, solution to go ahead and wash out mace and pepper spray? Who paid for that? Who funded for the buses? Could it be the same people who are supporting Hamas in our country? Who are looking to eradicate Jews? Do you think? Do you think it might be synonymous? Could it be the people who are funding Antifa? You notice how Antifa's just disappeared? Why? Well, they were never around. Really? They certainly aren't anymore. Give me a break. She's a liar. How about defunding the police? Give me, oh my God. She denied supporting police defunding. She's previously called for redirecting police funds toward other areas like schools and small businesses. How much? Almost 70% in some cases. Can you imagine being a police force? Having 100 people on staff, vehicles, gas, insurance, training, pensions, upkeep, and being told that your budget's being cut by 70% and relocated to diversity, equity, inclusion hires for citizens on patrol. Give me a break. We're going to make the police a voluntary force without guns. We're going to give them counseling training. Excuse me, Mr. Gangbanger, who's 6'7", who's named Bubba, who literally rapes people in prison. I just want to talk to you about the Latter-day Saints. Here's a flower from Scientology. Airplane? No, it doesn't work. The only thing that stops violence is people who are willing to commit violence. I hate to say it, but that's the truth. And if you think I'm wrong, read a book. And I don't care if it's from the geopolitical world sense, the federal level, the national level, the state level, city, municipality, whatever it is. Violence, unfortunately, is stopped by violence. Martin Luther King was full of shit. You can be a pacifist and get change. Tell that to Gandhi. Yes, civil rights. Excuse me. You can go ahead and say that it was all done peacefully. You know what really got civil rights kicked off? 1.2 million people sitting in Washington on Mirror Lake. That shit, the reflection pool, that is what got it done. Because it was either that or else. And the or else scared the shit out of the slavers in the Civil War too. Because black people became aware. There's a lot of us. If they only would have done that during the Civil War and slavery. You had 100 slaves for every slaver. And they were so ridiculed and beaten and demoralized that they never stood up and they never fought back. Black people could have absolutely taken over the South. There were 4 million of them. But this is what happens with tyranny. This is what happens with unfettered government control. This is what you get. Oh, I know if Antifa is alive, well, but the name is dead. That's the thing. They just change their mask. They just change their colors. Instead of wearing all black and red, now they're wearing green, red, and black. Combat zones. Harris claimed no U.S. troops are in active combat zones. I already touched on this. Peter Mayer noted that U.S. soldiers are still in dangerous areas like Syria, Iraq, and Jordan, and that's not all. If he said that, then I will tell you I can name 7 other countries where U.S. soldiers are currently airmen, sailors, Marines, soldiers currently are in country. I can also tell you government contractors for the U.S., former military, mercs, are also in country fighting wars. She's a liar. I'm telling you right now, that is with I can't give you what you need. There used to be somebody on this show who told you as much, who was one of them. But I can't tell you what you need to know. You're just going to have to trust me on this one, that I'm not going to Leavenworth because I'm going to tell you something that you're not, I'm not even cleared for anymore. But the community speaks together. The brotherhood, the sisterhood of the U.S. military, and the communities that I were involved in, we still talk. It's a lie. We're not done. I mean, can you believe this? We're almost done with the show, and I still got like, what, 10 more to go? Trump's tax cuts. Said the 2017 tax cuts mostly benefit billionaires. In fact, IRS data shows the biggest beneficiaries were middle income. But here's the thing. If the 2017 tax cuts were so bad, why did the 2022 Democrats extend and vote to extend them until 2025? Crickets. Do we have a cricket sound? I'm sure we have a cricket sound. Maybe. So if the tax cuts in 2017 were so bad that expired in 2022, why did the Democrats vote to extend the tax cuts? Someone want to riddle me that? No, I didn't think so. More lies by Harris. Border bill said that a recent congressional border bill would have curbed illegal immigration and fentanyl smuggling. It would have legalized it. She wanted 5,000 illegals a day. 5,000 illegals a day. You're talking almost 200,000 illegals annually. And those were based on the ones that we just let in. That doesn't talk about the getaways. It doesn't talk about the ones who are currently in country, who have skipped their overall hearing for citizenship or claiming asylum. That's where the real numbers are getting killed. The gotaways and the people who skip their hearings for asylum. But she still wants to allow 5,000. That means a border that's open. And here's the thing that's really honest, is when you want to take a look at that appropriations bill, you want to take a look at that border bill where they go ahead and stick a name on it like Inflation Reduction Act, which did no such thing and actually created more inflation because you can't spend money you don't have, you stupid sons of bitches. But you wanted to go ahead and you wanted to reinforce 26 other countries' borders. You wanted to give more money to Ukraine, to Israel. You wanted to give money to Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Jordan, UAE. Explain to me, Taiwan was involved. 26 other countries you wanted to reinforce their borders, and you gave them 16% of that bill to the United States, and the rest went to foreign assets. That's not a border bill for the United States. That is a pork barrel full of shit, misnomered piece of legislation. And guess what? Donald Trump didn't kill it because Donald Trump wasn't in office. Yeah, but Donald Trump made a phone call. Really? So Donald Trump made a phone call and he can stop legislation in its tracks? Well, then he can just make a phone call and stop the war, right? Then why don't you put him in office? If Donald Trump yields that much power to make one phone call and get legislation passed in a bicameral legislature, then explain to me why you would not make him president tomorrow. Just tell me. You know what I would have said? That should make me so overqualified. You're telling me one phone call I can get anything done that I want? Kamala, you should take a back seat. You just owned yourself. I don't think that own was means what you think it means. One phone call. Trump missed that. I just would have been like, if I'm that powerful and I can make one phone call and get legislation to stop, well, then why shouldn't I be president today? Let's go ahead and stop the Ukraine and Russian war. Let's go ahead and fix the peace in the Middle East. I'll reinstall the Abraham Accords. We'll go ahead and put sanctions back on Iran. We'll go ahead and lean on Mexico even more with the USMCA and the border crossings. We'll get them to pay for the wall now. We can put that money into reinforcing military assets. I'm just going to make a phone call. I'm going to lower inflation with one phone call. I'm going to call the Fed and have them go ahead and bring interest rates back to a reasonable level so we stop sticking it into every homeowner's ass repeatedly. We won't have to give $25,000 to new homeowners because people will be able to afford a home now. Sounds good to me. Just going to make my one phone call. By the way, Kamala, Biden, Obama, you guys might want to get ready because you're all going to have to make one phone call soon. It'll be to your lawyer, you fucks. He can't say that. Still a good line. How about immunity ruling? Harris mischaracterized the Supreme Court's ruling on presidential immunity, claiming it would make Trump immune to any misconduct. The ruling only applies to official acts under the presidency. And that's the way it's been. That's precedent. For a prosecutor, she doesn't know shit about the law. The Supreme Court didn't say anything. They said related to the office. Of course, they can go ahead and still go ahead and sue Trump and try to put him in prison long after he's out of office. But while he's in office, he has to be free and clear of any threats, blackmail, or intimidation in his office, because that's the sanctity of the president's office, no matter how fucked up it might be. Give me a break. She's a liar. We're not done. Trump sales tax. She claimed that Trump plans to implement sales tax if reelected. Trump has made no pledge whatsoever. You just said that he reduced taxes. Now you are saying that he wants to implement a sales tax, a higher sales tax? He has proposed a flat tax. And honestly, wouldn't that be a great thing? One tax. You know what he said? He said he wanted to undo certain taxes and put tariffs on people. And yes, product might be a little more expensive, but that's the way this works. But if product becomes more expensive and you don't continue price hikes, and you don't try to tax people in prosperity, the free market will work. There'll still be people who come in at the bottom dollar, who try to sell gross product from a boatload versus a truckload to go ahead and have decreased margin, but higher volume and make the same amount of money. Customers will survive. The free market will decide. The new PlayStation came out today, the PS5. It's $100, $699. The free market's going to decide whether it's worth it or not. And right now, all the single disk drives that this is only a digital system and there's a disk drive sold separately, they all sell out all over the place, which means the free market is ready to pay $699 for an all digital upgraded PS5. And they are going to buy a disk drive so they can use physical media. The free market will decide. Price was increased. And if Xbox tries to do the same thing, people are going to tell them to go pound sand because it's a POS system. Free market. So you can raise prices on cars. You can raise prices on commodities. You can raise prices on building materials. But ultimately, somebody's going to come in under. Someone's going to buy by the boatload. And then what's going to happen is all the liberals are going to complain and go, oh my God, this is capitalism at work. Look at these corporations that are making billions of dollars and they're making a profit. Good. It's the free market at work. What's wrong with that? I don't want to buy any foreign product in the United States. I have no desire. I want to buy American made. By the way, all my shirts, everything made in America, United States. My coffee, my books. You should go over to thedumshow.com. Pick yourself up the Documents of Freedom. It's an amazing thing. I'm not going to be able to get the commercial in tonight. Thanks a lot, everybody. Really appreciate it. But if you haven't seen, Documents of Freedom are officially $10 off, $64.99 if you haven't seen the Documents of Freedom. 9/11. Can you believe that? That was one of the things I was going to talk about today. Is just everyone seemed to have forgotten, but it's so important. You guys know how I feel about 9/11. It's like we all forgot again. Tony, thanks for saying something. She blamed Trump for Afghanistan withdrawal. Said he negotiated a weak deal. How would she know? They didn't do anything remotely close to what the deal stated in the Doha agreement. How about NATO? She twisted Trump's remarks, claiming he told Russia they could do whatever the hell they want in Ukraine. That's not what he said. They said NATO members need to pay their defense obligations that they promise. Foreign policy, she accused him of being weak on national security. Are you fucking kidding me? The U.S. southern border was secure. We had multiple peace deals in the Middle East. We brokered peace in Afghanistan and the Arab states. What are you talking about? He went after the caliphate. He literally neutered ISIS and Al-Qaeda. ISIS-K rose up because of Joe Biden. She claimed that he released 5,000 terrorists. That's not what happened. If the Taliban are terrorists, why did the fucking Biden administration put them in charge of security forces at Kabul airport, one of the most notoriously hit airports and terrorist attacks in the world? Why would you put Taliban in charge of security for exfil for U.S. personnel and NGOs? Does that make any sense to anybody? Why didn't you go ahead and keep Bagram Air Base open? Why didn't you stop the standing order to decrease people, keep 15,000 people in country, to secure Kabul, to ensure that you had proper air support to fly helos and helo people back and forth between Bagram and Kabul, and use U.S. security forces and all other allies to the war in Afghanistan to assist with exfil? Because you just owned yourself. Why would you put terrorists in charge of that? The 5,000, by the way, was the Afghan government that made that decision. He brokered the deal during the Doha agreement. But in exchange for 1,000 political prisoners and Afghani regulars who were under control of Taliban, the Afghan government would not budge without that trade. Donald Trump considered it a necessary evil. But unfortunately, it wasn't those 5,000 that decided to kill the 13 and bomb and attack the airport. It was the ones that were actually locked up in Bagram Air Base that Joe Biden exfilled in the middle of the night 30 days prior who did the attack. You don't hear that story, do you? Frank, thank you. There's a little truth for you. Hey, liberals, am I lying? Come on. 804-212-2208. Let's have a conversation. You won't call. You never do. You talk shit on Facebook. You trash. Get a job. I've got a job. And I will spank your ass if you come on my show. You don't know anything about this stuff. And the reason why is because you don't care. There are plenty of things Trump did wrong with the Doha agreement. There's plenty of things that he did wrong with Afghanistan. But that doesn't mean that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris aren't responsible too. Same thing with COVID. Same thing with the economy. Same thing with spending. There are things that Donald Trump didn't do right. Hit him on that. But what you don't ever do is hit the people who are also responsible. You're biased. You believe that Kamala shits purple Twinkies and her ass is rainbow sherbet. And it's not. It's got the same piquant, salty, and nutty aftertaste as everyone else's. And you pretend they're perfect. And these people are serial liars. I understand why some people don't like Trump. I understand why they hit him on some of his policy. I do too. What I don't understand is why you never admit that Kamala's wrong about anything. Ever. Nothing's true. Everything's a lie. She's right. Everybody else is wrong. Nana, nana, boo, boo, stick your head in doo-doo. Pro-life laws. They said that we were going to go ahead and ectopic pregnancy treatments and miscarriages were going to be outlawed. The laws include life-saving exemptions for women in all 50 states. Life-saving exceptions. It's not on the woman's word. It's on the doctor's word. And she's allowed to get second opinions. Ectopic pregnancies are a danger to the mother. Miscarriages can be dangerous. Of course, it is a medical procedure. And Republicans, yes, there is a fringe element absolutely in the Republican Party that believe that no abortions are legal ever. That there's never an excuse to abort a baby. Well, those people are not the Republican Party. Those people are extremists. They do not speak for the Republican Party, just like most of the 9-monthers and after birth don't speak for the liberals. Most of the United States, 73%, believe in some form of abortion in one way or another. That is a fact. Most of the country does not agree with late-term abortions, third trimester abortions, and after-birth post-abortions. By even a larger number. That's like 81%. And if you look at conservatives that believe in no form of abortion whatsoever at all, zero, zilch, nada, in any case, it is an infinitesimal number. I don't even have the number. But those people aren't Republicans. Those are religious zealots. There's a very big difference. If you don't like what I'm saying, I don't care because it's truth. January 6th deaths. Once we said that Brian Sicknick died of natural causes. It was unrelated. The autopsy report said it was unrelated. Fine people on both sides, one of the biggest, one of the worst. All you got to do is listen to 30 seconds before on that tape, 30 seconds after. I've done that show. Donald Trump was not talking about, he was talking about 4 groups of people. There were white supremacists there. There were BLM and black militant groups there. There were people who wanted the statues and people who didn't want the statues, the constituents of the city. The good people on both sides, he was talking about the people who wanted to take down the statue or didn't want to take down the statue. The moment that the tiki torches came in, 30 seconds prior, he said racists, white nationalists, KKK, and black militants. Those people he doesn't condone, he doesn't support, and he absolutely outright repudiates their support. 30 seconds before and 30 seconds after. You're fucking liars. That has been disproven. Hey, liberals, call me. 804-212-2208. Try it. I got the tape. I got the episode. I'll pull it up for you. I'll show it to you. We can watch it together. We can eat popcorn. We can sing Kumbaya and hold each other's hands as you cry your liberal tears into your Puffs lotioned Kleenex. It's a lie. It's all lies. I'm not done. I can keep going. I can keep this show going till 10 o'clock. Autocrats for president. She claimed that autocratic leaders want Trump to win the election. But Russian President Vladimir Putin just publicly endorsed her. Now, do we truly believe that he is supporting Harris? Of course not. But you don't get to say that he's supporting Trump when that is a factual inaccuracy. World leaders don't want Donald Trump because world leaders like Merkel, like Erdogan, they have had Trudeau, they have had their feet held to the flame, and they have been bitch slapped by China and the United States. They don't like it. It's not just the United States. China is very good politically. They are extremely good at what they do. Oh no, I guess I'm a Chinese sympathizer because I gave them a compliment. We're not done. Trump's abortion stance, one of the most important things to these liberals. Trump does not support a national ban. Trump is a moderate Democrat when it comes to his social values. He is fiscally conservative. He was a Republican for 26 years. He was a Democrat for less than 9. He was with the Reform Party for less than a year, and he considered himself a libertarian for 2 years. For his entire life, more than 75% of it, he has been a Republican. He is a Reagan conservative. He is a blue-collar Democrat socially. He doesn't believe people should be in their bedrooms. He doesn't believe that abortion should be banned outright. He believes in common sense laws. He is not a supporter of Project 2025. There are proponents inside of it. He has spoken with the Heritage Foundation. He has done junkets with the Heritage Foundation. He has people in his cabinet who worked on the Heritage Foundation. All of this is true. But what's funny is Kamala Harris has people on her staff who've worked with the CSA, the Communist Socialists of America. She has people on her staff who've worked with BLM, black militant groups, the NAACP, the Rainbow Coalition, the ACLU. So when you want to sit here and pretend that because you have people in your cabinet who have worked with groups that we don't agree with, and all of a sudden that makes them a terrorist, you're full of shit. Folks, had a chance to show you the police report for the animals. Here it is from Clark County Sheriff. More will come out. They're literally right here. Haitian descent, 2 females, 2 males. Talk about cooking and eating dogs on the bike path, eating animals.
I'm riding on the trail going to my orientation.
Here's the 911.
For my job today. And I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hand. They got away. I couldn't make out the first 3 of the license plate, but I got the numbers. The last numbers was 9898, and it was a gray Toyota Tacoma they took off on. There was about 4 of them. There was 2 men, 2 women. I couldn't tell the age because I'm in a hurry going to this orientation, so I don't be late.
What direction did they go?
They went up towards the middle of towards downtown.
Okay, and what path are you on?
Right now, hold on just a second. I'm coming to the intersection of. Give me a second here. It says Water and Warder Street.
Water and Warder. Is that the area you saw them?
Yes. It was about 2 minutes back behind me. I was trying to get my phone out and trying to make it to this orientation on time. I'm time crunching here. And I saw that. I'm like, yeah, this has got to be reported.
So how many geese did they have?
They each had 1. Now, the Toyota Tacoma did look like a newer model.
And what's your name, sir?
My name is...
My name is Fuck You. That's my name. We saw this guy last night. Here he is again.
I think it's like kind of odd that like a guy like me has to come out from doing what I do on a daily basis to have fun because I see what's going on in these streets and I see you guys just sitting up there in them comfy chairs and suits and I'm getting out here every day and I'm broadcasting this and you guys are just sitting up there in suits or something. Like I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into, they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from this. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me tonight, FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to, seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants because it's the people that...
I've shown all 3 of these videos last night before the pre-show for the debate. And I've got 8 hours of city council meetings. I've got the mayor in a video openly saying that they are being overwhelmed by these immigrants, that crime is running rampant, that they don't have the infrastructure or facilities to feed and maintain and keep their cities safe. And yet Kamala Harris sits there and lies. Don't you guys remember what happened in Palestine, Ohio? Don't you remember how they ignored the overall spill as the chemical vinyl went up into the air and polluted that area and polluted those rivers, and they played it off that it was no big deal, that it was completely under control when it wasn't? Don't you remember the things that they've told you that have been complete lies? Russian collusion. Donald Trump's a Nazi. Donald Trump is the only person who doesn't look like a Nazi anymore. He openly supports the state of Israel. She ignored Benjamin Netanyahu when he showed up. They didn't even give him a welcome when he showed up. Yet Zelensky gets to wear and drape a flag over Nancy Pelosi's shoulders and Kamala Harris as they hold up the Ukraine flag on U.S. soil, on our House floor, a foreign country, and hail a foreign leader and give him over $150 billion. Am I against Ukraine? No, I just don't give a fuck about Ukraine. I don't care about Russia either. Keep them out of our country, keep them out of Europe, and keep them fighting against each other. Who gives a shit? The sovereignty of Ukraine is absolutely important. No, it's not. They're surrounded. Russia, if it gets Ukraine, gives them one country into NATO territory. And it's not even a NATO country. Russia is surrounded by NATO. Norway, Finland, Sweden, Poland, Germany, England, everybody. They are surrounded by NATO. If they fart, they are going to get a missile colonoscopy up their asses. I don't care what happens with Ukraine. I don't care what happens with Syria. I don't care what happens with Belarus. I don't care what happens with Bosnia and Herzegovina. Stabilize the region. Assure they don't have chemical weapons. Assure none of them have nuclear weapons. And sit back. Let Europe handle it. We've already bailed them out twice. We don't need to get involved. We did England's bidding from 1956 on to 1995. We're done. We handled the transfer of the Chinese takeover of Hong Kong. That is the last time we should have participated with anything from England. We are no longer the world's lapdogs. If we're needed, ring the bell. We'll show up. Otherwise, leave us the fuck alone. Stop sending money overseas when I've got brothers and sisters dying in line waiting for help that Donald Trump alleviated and let them see any doctor they want to. And now veterans are struggling to get that care that they need because you're putting illegals in line with them. You're giving health care in California to illegals, in New York to illegals, in Oregon and Washington to illegals. We can't even keep our own healthy. Why in the fuck are we helping other countries? Enough. Just because I sit here and say I don't want $150 billion sent to Ukraine, I am all for American bases in foreign countries. Yes, it has kept peace since World War II. We need a QRT, quick reaction force, quick reaction team or quick reaction force in situation and hotspots like what happened in Benghazi. We need to be able to go ahead and thwart and knock down any major terrorist cells or groups that get froggy against governments that actually want to have elective representation of its people. Not saying democracy. We need to be ready to go in case we have a hot spot where we need to go ahead and hit. That's why we have our aircraft carriers. But we do not need to go ahead and fund an entire country's war. If you want to proliferate Russia, do it with sanctions and do it with money and do it with Western civilization pressure against the country. It worked for Trump. Why do you have to go ahead and send bombs to Ukraine? Let them fight their war. Let Europe supply them with weapons. Why does the United States? Because we installed them, that's why. I'm sick and tired of having wars and bringing that country's unchecked and unfettered into our country. Afghanistan people are an amazing group of people. They are incredibly resilient, and I love the Afghanistan relationships with the NGOs that I built. But we don't have a way to vet the others, and those people should not come into our country. You can ask any team guy, any Marine, any Army ground pounder, how many choppers that we had were taken down by young kids who came onto those that we were exfilling. How many women took out soldiers. You can't vet ideology. You can't vet terrorists. They don't wear signs that say, I am going to kill you. You literally hear the clack of the vest and then it's over. That's how you know someone's a terrorist. We cannot allow these people to come in our country. We cannot allow the worst parts of Haiti and El Salvador and Venezuela and Mexico and Colombia and Peru and God, for God's sakes, South Korea, Vietnam. You got people coming over from Syria, Yemen, Iran. You have the worst parts of countries that we literally are hotbeds, and we're allowing them to come in over the southern border with unfettered access. Why? Because the Democrats want votes. That's what this is about. Money, power, votes. It's always the same. 20 years ago, Democrats sounded like Republicans. They wanted a border wall. They wanted to stop Reagan. 30 years ago, they wanted to stop Reagan from getting all the Latino vote. Now, roles have reversed. Why? Where was that great party switch that they always talk about? With all the great society and the Dixiecrats switching. Who switched about the border? Who switched on lesbian and gay rights? Conservatives were always stalwarts against that. So were Democrats. Democrats didn't support gay marriage. They didn't support it until 2012 when Joe Biden opened his fucking mouth on the national stage and said that Barack Obama was going to support gay marriage. So Barack, you know what he did? Fucking Joe. And had to go ahead and support gay marriage. They've been doing it for less than 15 years, and you guys pretend that they're the great white hope. That Democrats are the bastions of freedom for the lesbian and gay community. We didn't want to take away your rights. You could fuck whoever you want. We just didn't want you to encroach on the institution of marriage and our kids. Well, we gave you the institution of marriage. We relented, and we even believed you when you said you weren't going to come after our kids. And now you've got the transgender community who want to go ahead and read to our kids through drag shows, who want to go ahead and show Pedro sucking off a 13-year-old gardener and make comic illustrations and put it in our libraries for our children to see. You want to take down the American flag and put up the rainbow flag. You crossed the line. You promised you wouldn't indoctrinate our kids because you told us it was impossible because you were born this way. This isn't hate speech, it's fact. And the real lesbian, gay, and bisexual community does not like the T and the Q and the SP and the IA and all that other bullshit. Because those people aren't gay and lesbian and bisexual. Those people are fucking delusional. And they're not happy with it. And I believe that transgenders and BIPOC and SP2 spirit, you have every right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Stay away from our children. Stay away from our schools. We don't want you reading to our kids. And it has nothing to do. I don't want a Catholic priest reading to my kids. I don't want a satanic priest reading to my children. I don't want a Muslim reading to my kids. I don't want a Mormon reading to my kids. I don't want a Christian. I don't want a Catholic. I want them to teach our children STEM. I want them to teach them how to think, not what to think. I want them to ask our permission for every single thing that they do. And if a rabbit farts on campus, I want to hear about it as a dad. They're not your fucking kids. They're mine. They are my blood. They are my family. And you are tapping in to dance where you shouldn't. Sit the fuck down. It's my song. This is my dance. You cannot cut in. You don't get to raise my kids. That's my job. You don't get to protect my kids. That's my job. You don't get to decide life-changing things with my kids. That's my job. And you certainly don't get to talk about the birds and the fucking bees with my kids, because if you did, if it was 15 years ago, you'd be going to jail. But then again, you can always call my show and dispute what I have to say. But you won't. Because there's nothing that I'm saying that's racist. There's nothing that I'm saying that's wrong. Because I can say the same things. I can challenge the people who are doing these things, and I can also defend them. If anyone tries to hurt my gay and lesbian and bisexual friends or trans friends, I'll take a baseball bat to their head. But the ones who want to come in and do the reverse to my family, my friends, and my neighbors, fuck you. You're a threat. You're a threat. Don't sit here and tell me that they're not aborting kids up to third trimester. You told us abortion was going to be a random thing, just in emergencies. It would never happen outside the first trimester. That'd be inhumane. That'd be murder. Then you went to the second, then you went to the third, now you're in the fourth, and now you want them out of the womb. Fuck you. We're sick of you. You take too much. There's no consequence for your action. There's no consequence for your soul. At least on this mortal plane, you will have to atone for your sins. You will have to atone for who you are in this life or the next. But you're not going to continue to just traipse over our family and our kids and our life and sit here and call us racist and hide behind fucking nuance that makes no sense. What we're saying is logical. What we're saying is sound. Stay out of our lives. Mind your own fucking business. Stay on your side of the fence. And if your house is burning, I will come and help you. Otherwise, don't try to light my house on fire and then say you're helping me. Stay out of my home. Leave us alone. And we'll do the same for you. Folks, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. If you have not had a chance, linktapgo.com/thedumshow. I am going to show the Wimkin commercial. This is the new Wimkin commercial. Take a listen. It's 1 minute. And you need to go over to Wimkin and sign up. And I'll have some words right after this. Don't leave. Hang tight. What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Matthew Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me show. I want to talk to you about Wimkin.com. Now, Jason Shepard and the Wimkin team came into my life about a year and a half ago. They were saying that it's not a Twitter knockoff, that it's just like Facebook, it's fully encrypted, completely safe, and your privacy is paramount. You can live stream, it's 100% made in the USA. And I took a little time, not going to lie. I wanted to make sure that this was the right company, and it took me a little bit to research and take part in the network, and I will tell you that I am 100% right behind Wimkin. Jason Shepard has created an amazing network where people who are sick and tired of being censored and pushed around by big tech, this doesn't happen on Wimkin. He protects your privacy, and he's willing to stand up to the government and anyone who tries to get it. He's already done it once. It doesn't make him very popular, and that's why he needs shows like us and people like you to support him, to get behind him, and to ensure that the most important thing that we all possess is the right to freedom of speech and to share our voices across this great country. Join Wimkin over at wimkin.com today. Folks, thanks for watching tonight. By the way, if you have not had a chance, the Documents of Freedom are available. If you like the conversation, the reason why is that it's all based on this. It's the Bill of Rights. It's Constitution, Declaration of Independence. That's where my beliefs come from. Yes, I dabble in the Bible. Yes, I read Thoreau and Tennyson and Goodman and Mark Twain and everyone else on the planet that I can possibly consume. I love Charles Krauthammer. I love Tom Clancy and Vince Flynn. I love to read, but these are really my Bible. This is the way I live my life. And everything in here is available on the Documents of Freedom. These documents are important. They are whittling away. And if they constantly chip away, how do you know if they resemble what you grew up with? Because there's been changes since you went to school. There's been changes from a year ago. The Documents of Freedom collect that. It's a beautiful box set. It's great to pass it down to your friends and family. It's all made in the United States, made out of wood, carved, engraved just for you with leatherette books that are actually the ones that are sold at the Smithsonian, that are sold in Washington, D.C., at the Jefferson Memorial, at the Kennedy Memorial, the Lincoln Memorial. These are the books that are sold by the National Archives. I bet you didn't know that. This is actually from the Smithsonian Institute through Arcadia Publishing. These are the same ones you can get in Washington, D.C., but you don't need to go to Washington, D.C. You can actually go to my site at thedumshow.com and pick up the Documents of Freedom. This supports the show. We appreciate you. It's on its 10th printing, 150 sold, 5-star rated. Go and pick up the Documents of Freedom over on The Dumb Show. Do I accept checks? You can send a check to our P.O. box, and then I can send it to you. If you want to go on and order it and take it to the end screen where shipping is, and then I can take a check, that's fine. The easiest thing to do is, if you don't mind using PayPal, we have a 100% secure server. It is all encrypted. It is Shopify. Shopify is billions are handled today, and it is completely safe. Please give it a chance. I understand you're trepidatious. They've never been hacked. They've never been unsecure. So give it a chance. If that doesn't work, you can send a cash or money order to me. If you want to, reach out to Olivia, Matt at The Dumb Show, and we'll get it worked out if you want one. Folks, do me a favor. Last thing, I know It's the end of the show. linktapgo.com/thedumbshow. Besides thedumbshow.com, where you can get great shirts and coffee mugs. Listen, we have 5-star review. We are one of the top 2% rated shops on the internet. People love our stuff. Nobody complains because it's all high quality stuff. You're going to pay a premium, but you're going to get the best stuff on the planet. The last thing is linktapgo.com/thedumbshow. We have been defunded by Facebook. We lost almost 90% of our revenue, and now we had to shift gears. And the dumb nation, you who watch the show religiously every single night, and some of you who are watching it for the first time tonight, and there was a whole bunch of you, you have the ability to help out. Doesn't matter whether it's $1, $5, $10, $100, even $1,000, because people have given all denominations. We're not grifters. We're going to be here tomorrow. We're not here to take your money. We're not trying to go ahead and charge you for something. If you just want to watch the show and hit like and share and follow, that's enough. But if you're looking to keep the show moving forward, and prosperity is key, especially when it comes to financials, we need your help. And you can do that by going to linktapgo.com/thedumbshow and donating to the show. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Tomorrow we'll have a recorded show. We'll have new news, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks. I had a good show tonight. Sounded like it was a good show in my head. I hope you had a good time. I hope you had fun. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Tell your friends about us. And before you leave, please pound that like button. Hit it. Hit the love. Hit the follow. Hit the thumbs up, because it makes a difference. Remember, if you don't share it, people can't find it. Thanks so much. We will talk to you tomorrow. Good night.
Adjusting transmitter output.
David Boreanaz with the Cast of SEAL team, and we have an important message for returning vets.
We want you to know if you're struggling to cope, there's help and it's just a phone call away.
The Veterans Crisis Line is staffed with experienced professionals who know your struggles.
There's no greater sacrifice in service to our country. We're able to enjoy our freedoms because of it.
Your service is important. You are important.
For vets and their families, the Veterans Crisis Line is here to help 24 hours a day. Please call.
Transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.